So that was quite the exposition-heavy episode of Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Did I mind? Not one bit. I didn't mind 1 second of it, because what it gave us was interesting enough that it kind of made me invest into the world itself. It didn't once bore me. Sometimes you get these exposition-heavy episodes, and this can be freaking damn boring. You're trying to build this world, you're trying to build these characters, but the world you're trying to build and the characters you're trying to build are just plain boring. You just can't get invested. This one, on the other hand, I'm kind of getting more invested into the world itself. I'm kind of getting more interested. I'm kind of saying, how can the settlement work with all these characters there that can't really trust these Kabaneris? How can they work? One day they're going to snap and try and kill these people because they don't trust them. And in the end, you're going to be like, well, these people are trying to save you. Why are you trying to kill them? It's basically going to start an uproar of a war. And I'm actually freaking damn interested. I'm kind of like, what could happen? This episode explored it to an extent. It explored the whole idea that these people are like, well, we can't really trust these Kabaneri. What can they do? If they turn on us, what are we going to do? We can't really do very much. I like also the whole idea that you really were trying to kill these Kabaneris, but in the end, there was an enemy within. One of the, well, a mother was turning into a Kabane. I was kind of like, see? Like, you went to go and kill the other people, but you weren't really kind of like paying attention to anything else. Granted, there wasn't actually kind of any signs that she was turning, but she just turned randomly. And it was really freaking depressing, because there's a mother with a baby in like her stomach. It's kind of like, don't do that. Please don't do that as soon. I was like, just don't, because it kind of gets me, okay? Just don't do that. It's kind of one of those scenes that's like, just don't. Please don't die. And she did. She turns into Kabaneri, and basically Mume, just being the badass she is, just goes in and takes it down. It's kind of like, I was like, it's badassery, but freaking damn depressing badassery at the same time. It's kind of like, why would you do this? But for me, the most interesting part was the fact that actually the Kabaneris work off blood. They're part Kabaneri and they're part Kabana and part human as well, aren't they? So they kind of work off blood. So it makes me interested. So basically, if they're deprived of blood, they turn into bloodthirsty kind of vampire zombie things, or vampire ghoul kind of things. So I'm kind of like sitting there going, so what happens after an extended amount of time? Will they just go and turn and just kill everyone there? Because Ikoma actually turns and basically tries to take down Ayama. It's kind of like, oh my god. I was like, so this is what happens when you deprive them of blood. I like the scene where basically Mume is all like, oh yeah, just don't give me any food. I just want your blood. I was kind of like, there's people around her just like standing going, hold a second. Did you say blood? Like, just, let me hear that straight. It's like, just double take here, guys. Blood. Not like food. You want blood. It's kind of, and then she's all like, yeah. Like, she's so nonchalant about it. She's like really nonchalant about it. And she goes, yeah, I want some blood. It's kind of like, whoa. And it's like, that. That's how you nonchalant ask a very, very important thing, which is actually very serious, that might actually land you in some trouble. That's how you do it nonchalantly. But still, it's going to be interesting how now this whole like prayer offering, the whole idea of this episode might just turn completely on its head, and this whole idea of its offering not being this visual to send off all these people that died, because that's the whole episode in a nutshell. It was them wanting to send off these people who died. A group of people saying, look, we want to send our family off. If we get too far away, we can't send these people off. Do you really want your like family to not be able to pass on? And then basically Yaman's all like, well, we can't stop the train yet. Conveniently enough, what happens? The actual water tank breaks, so they actually have enough time to actually sit down and actually have this vigil. So I'm guessing now the actual offerings they're going to have to give is blood. Since now they have to give blood in order for this whole like settlement to survive, otherwise basically, yeah, they're screwed. I was kind of like, now this is interesting development. What could actually happen next? What really could happen? Could they actually now trust these people? In a sense, now since the bloodthirsty vampire zombie ghoul thingies, can they actually trust these people? Can they actually go forward trusting who they are? Will they always have the constant like kind of area of doubt that maybe one day they might just turn into these bloodthirsty vampire zombie things? Will they actually turn like that? It kind of gets me interested, because in the whole episode they're not really trusting all these Kabaneris. I mean, at one point, Mume just goes outside and goes, well, I'm not trying to start a war, they're trying to start a war. And then he's all like, see, they're enemies. It's kind of like, dude, come on. They saved you twice. Just take some consideration. I know they're Kabaneris, but still, man, it's kind of like, don't. But then, basically, the enemy within happens, and I was kind of like, ha! I'm kind of like, that's what you get. But still, now I get the whole idea that actually now they really can't trust these people. They really can't trust these Kabaneris, because this is going to happen. The Yami's going to all be like, what do I do now? Like, I trusted you. I trusted you, Ikoma. Look, you were going to be the best babe, but now, no. You completely ruined it. It's kind of like, I feel you there. I really do feel you, but whatever they're going to do next, I'm freaking damn interested. And the fact that actually they're going to Kongogaku, which is the actual town in which the shoguns are actually at, which they're kind of like, will we actually get there or won't we get there? But Ayame is kind of like elder, it's actually the kind of head honcho there, so basically they might be let in. Granted, since they've got Kabaneris on board, will they or won't they? That's a good question we have to ask ourselves. Will they or won't they be able to get in? So I'm kind of sitting here going, what really could happen next? I'm interested to find out, because Akoma's past actually happens in this episode as well. We actually learn what happened to Akoma in the past. We learn the origins of the pebble that he has in his hand. We actually learn that actually it was his sister's kind of good luck charm. They actually have one each. What happens is it actually turns into a memento, because what happened was, originally his actual settlement itself was actually invaded or actually breached by the Kabanes, and what happened was all the adults fled, and they stayed, and what happens? Basically, his sister gets caught in the fire. She gets bitten by the Kabane. He kind of says, "I'm gonna go find some help." Runs away. Tries to rely on other people. Other people won't help him. He goes back. His sister's dead, and what happens? He's kind of like, I can't sit here and say I'm gonna run away anymore. I've got to have this resolve that I can't run away. I've got to keep going. I can't just say, look, stuff's going down out there. Like, I don't know, Kabane's attacking, I can't run away, I've got to destroy these people. I like how Ayame also used that to her advantage, basically saying who the enemies were. When she actually stabs him in the chest and goes, who's your real enemy here? And he basically says, my resolve is not to run away here. My resolve is to kill all these Kabanes. He goes, is that reason enough? Basically at that point they kind of turn and say, maybe these Kabaneris aren't bad people. So I'm kind of like, I liked how Akoma's like, I guess, his story was like explained. Granted, yeah, it's a conventional, my family died, and now it's my resolve not to actually get anyone else killed. I can't sacrifice anyone else. It's all conventional. Granted, it was quite a heart-wrenching scene, because he literally killed his own sister with the actual like kind of suicide device. It's kind of like, that is freaking depressing. It's like one of those scenes I was kind of like, no, just don't do that to me right now. I don't need that scene right now, but it gave it to me. I was like, 2 times this whole episode, I was like, just don't give it to me. But yeah, Tetsuya Raka does not like my feelings. Just literally doesn't. But now, what could happen? What really can happen? I have no idea, and I'm just so interested in this world. I'm actually more invested in this world than I've ever was in Attack on Titan in 24 episodes. This world's got me more invested in the space of 3 episodes than Attack on Titan ever could. I want to see what happens next. I want to see whether or not these people can actually get on board, pardon the pun, with the Kabaneris. Can they actually get on board with these people? Can they actually get used to them? Because we've seen this episode, none of them can get used to it. They can't. It's that area of doubt that could happen, and now because of bloodthirsty vampire ghoul thingies, more area doubt to have. So yeah, I'm very much interested. So yeah, with all that said, I have been the driver. If you leave a like, do leave a like. It's quite a bit. Leave a sub. Do leave a sub. It does help me quite a bit. But with all that said, I've been the driver, and I will see you later. Bye for now.